Last time we built these 2 jumps for my unicycle trail and some people commented on how dangerous it was. Not the jump, but these. These are leftover branches from these dying trees. At least I think they're dying. I really want to save them, but I don't really know the issue. But in the meantime, the old branches would impale me if I ever fell on them. So thank you guys for pointing them out. I'm thinking because the tree is leaning so far this way that I'm not going to have to worry about it falling at any random spot, and I can anticipate it falling just right there. This tree is dead, but that doesn't mean it's going down without a fight. Ugh. I'm cutting it up because they're right in the middle of the trail and I'm going to use those logs later. Hi, you. Without that tree, this section looks really open. What are you doing, Candy? I've been really itching to make one particular feature on this trail, and for some reason I feel like now is the right time to do it. But it involves continuing the ramp to scrap roll into this tree, and I gotta move it. I want to build an elevated wooden structure from scrap roll completely over the green area and connecting to the trail before it exits. Essentially, you'll ride up the scrap roll ramp and connect to this tree, then I'll put a structure on it that will support a wooden ladder bridge. Then the bridge just keeps connecting trees. It'll go in between these 2 trees and then continue traveling over the green until it meets up with the trail again at the very end. This is going to be a big build, but we had to start with improving the ramp to scrap roll because this is straight scrap wood. But it's sturdy. All right, what I think I'm gonna do to secure this log is take these old planks that were lining the run up before and just kind of shove them in there to almost make like a V shape on either side. So this is a little bit more sturdy and you can nail it or screw it in from either side. I don't know if that's gonna be super secure, but I guess we're gonna find out. Please do not try this yourself. This is not a tutorial about how to build unicycle features. The wood I'm using is questionable. The existing structure that I built is questionable. The way I'm securing this log to this questionable structure is questionable. So this is just a story about what I'm doing. Please do not try to replicate this. With the log I just cut down acting as a new ramp, I probably should see if it's at all strong enough to support me. But first, it would be nice to chop off some of those branch impalers. Doesn't look too stable, but it is. With that done, I went all the way down to the other end of the line, the one with no trees. Because the trees were going to be my support system, I needed to place posts in areas I didn't have existing trees. I really wanted to keep the area as nice as possible, so I got 2 4x6s and try to make this T-structure for the best support possible. Come on, you can come for this part. No chainsaws. Are you happy? Are you happy with it? The next step was getting a bunch of lumber and building the things in a way that wouldn't collapse or run me into a tree. All right, I gotta put this support on this tree, and I got a 10-foot 2x6, but I accidentally didn't cut it 5 and 5. I cut it 4 feet and 6 feet. So hopefully this still will work. Okay, oh, I'm good. Oh yeah, I'm not there. It's fine. Might look good from there, but I really screwed up, and I made these really off center. But I think that's okay. To get the most structural integrity out of the wood that's going to be supporting me in between posts, I'm organizing them vertically and cutting shallow notches in them so they don't move front and back. So I just temporarily screwed this 2x8 into scrap roll just to hold it in place. But the reason why I didn't do this with all of the 2x8s along the post is because this 2x8, no matter how strong it is just being held up by this single screw or however many screws I put in. And I was nervous that it would just break if I rode on it. So I made that T structure so the wood would rest on top of the wood and it would be less likely to break. But now I'm nervous that this 2x8 can sway left and right and actually just tilt over while I'm riding on it. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to prevent that. I think I'm gonna take like a scrap piece of like 2x6 or 2x8 and almost just like stick it in here and drill it into the post here, and then take the 2x8 and drill it into that. I think if I do that on either side of each one of the posts, that's gonna be sturdy enough, but I can always give it a test after I'm done. Oh. Hey, that worked pretty well. It's almost time for the decking, and I found some old decking boards on the backside of my garage. But I'm questioning the integrity of them. And some still have screws I can't get out. Some sections were still good, but I bought a lot more at the discount bin at Lowe's. I also got some from a few sections of deck boards that I had to replace in my backyard. I did eventually have to level off some boards and clear some more branches with a chainsaw. Ooh, it's high up here. And it was high. Some sections of the bridge were 8 feet off the ground. The more this vision became a reality, the more afraid I got. I was so excited grabbing materials I needed for this project and sketchily transporting them in my car, but now that it's getting close to finished, I'm actually going to have to ride it. The reason why you didn't see me make a down ramp to connect the bridge to the trail is because I'm planning on ending this bridge with a drop. A lot bigger than I've ever done. It definitely needs a landing ramp though, so I framed out a log box to fill with dirt. Most of this was dirt, but a good portion was sand since we have so much of that underground. I'm not complaining though, it should be a softer landing. I did a final inspection and I think this is good to go. I think we're ready to ride it. But I honestly think this first part, the incline part, is going to be the hardest because it's the skinniest towards the bottom. And I'm not really all that great at going uphill on skinnies. And the rest of it should be, well, scary, but not as rough until we get to the very end where let's see if I have the courage to just throw myself off that 6-foot drop. It's not even the fact that it's skinny. It's just that it's steep. No way. Whew. That was the hard part. Now comes the scary part. I didn't think I was gonna get this far, so I put a camera right in my way. I was able to ride all the way to the end, scared the whole way. But now I had to get the courage to finish the drop. That's a lot scarier than I thought. But I'll save that for tomorrow. Oh wow, made it to the end. All right, so here's the issue. A, I'm just terrified. That's probably the biggest issue. The second issue is this section of the Greenway is slanted towards the ramp, which is so much that I feel like I'm getting too much speed for my liking, and I have to hit my brake, and I have this weird thing, if I'm holding on to my brake, I don't have full grip on my handle, and I feel less secure, and I'm less likely to jump in the air 6 feet off the ground. What I think I'm gonna do to make this a little bit easier, I think I'm gonna build this up like really high, like this high, so the drop isn't that bad, and I hopefully don't have to be as brave, because I'm not brave enough for this. I got stuck. I thought I packed it down enough, but I really didn't. The fear is going a little bit. Okay, so here's an issue now. The whole landing ramp is tilted because I guess I didn't reinforce it for coming at it sideways. Keep in mind, I'm not really giving this the integrity that it needs. I'm landing with all my force sideways into this thing, and it's gonna take a beating. So I'm taking some branch impalers that I originally cut off to stake the logs. Hopefully that'll be sound enough to last until I land it. There's no reason why I couldn't have rolled away from that. Come on. That's like my 10th try, and every single time I had to be just as brave as the last. Come on. So close. All right, well, I kind of wrecked the ramp a little bit. I'm pretty sure I have to remake this landing ramp because I didn't do it right the first time, and I just tried to make quick, easy solutions that weren't going to be sustainable after 14 attempts. I dragged the last bit of log that I cut off earlier over, and I cut off the branch impalers to see if the weight of that heavy log would be enough to hold everything in place. I also cut out this notch that hopefully will hold the log itself in place, and obviously added more dirt. Day 4 was shot after redoing the lander, so when day 5 rolled around, I just wanted to get attempts in. That's not bad. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. Candy, why can't I do it? But on attempt 30, yes, no way. Yes. Come here. Yes. Oh God. Yes. Candy. Candy. And there it was. It wasn't pretty, but I think Candy was getting nervous that I was throwing myself off this platform too many times, so I'm gonna call it there. No more tries, okay? No more tries. I was able to do the whole feature minus the drop in one go. And since the rain robbed me of a few days and made the deck boards appear too slick for my preference, I'm going to get the whole thing cleaned another day. Plus, after 30 attempts of dropping off this feature, I need a break. I think the improvements to this feature I need to make are reinforcing some of the sections in between supports, as some of them still wiggle, and I'm definitely going to take care of that landing. I just have no idea how. Now our trail map looks like this. This feature isn't a whole new trail, but it is a really long section that could technically be its own line. We're calling this the Greenway since it's over the green section, and the drop itself we'll call the stop drop, since you have to slow down pretty significantly to aim for the landing. This was by far the biggest feature I've ever built, and ridden for that matter. This is how it always goes. I want to build something to push my limits. I build up more than I can chew. I take extra time building the courage and planning how to do it, and then I make last minute changes to calm my nerves. In this case, I built up the landing ramp so the drop wasn't so bad, but I packed it down so much it ended up being the original height of the drop anyway. That was a mental win, I suppose. This was a long video and a much longer build, but I'm as happy as I can be with the outcome. I'm going to practice this to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, so hopefully next feature doesn't take 30 bouts of positive affirmations and courage to land. I hope this was an enjoyable process to watch, and for as big as this thing is, I didn't get hurt. This build was a product of comments telling me I should chop off some of those branch impalers so I wouldn't get hurt, and it kind of molded into this idea, so it wouldn't have been possible without you guys. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing if you want to tag along with my building up my front yard with unicycle features. Thanks and good luck.
Boy. Candy.